There's my intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening? It is Tuesday here following a week 1 playoff round, week 15. And boy, is it one of the spicier waiver wires out there. All sorts of moving parts. We're going to do our best to help you guys sort through all that. Hopefully you guys are still in it for playoffs. If not, don't worry, folks. We got all sorts of stuff for people playing DFS, people doing betting throughout the week here. We got all that. Tuesday, though, dedicated to kind of recapping a little bit of last week and the waiver wire. So let me get to it. Howard Bender, how we doing today, brother? How the team's doing? You alive?
I am alive. Some very interesting things going on here. I did take a couple of losses over the weekend. Nothing you can do about it, right? I mean, when you're sitting there and you're matched up against somebody who's got Trevion Henderson or Travis Etienne or Trevor Lawrence, you sometimes you just excuse me, you run into a wagon. Now, obviously, guys who have underperformed, Jonathan Taylor, 87 yards, great, but he didn't get into the end zone. And what's to happen over there? Christian McCaffrey had an okay average game, didn't have anything absolutely stellar. He's just Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was disgusting in that game. And I got to tell you, man, I don't know how much longer you keep Zach Taylor running the show there. That's 2 games back-to-back now that the Bengals just absolutely just blew. Right? They blew the game against the Bills because they didn't run the football when they had the lead, and they just kept trying to have him pass, and he threw picks. And then this game here against the Ravens, just an absolute hot mess.
So you mean the guy, Zach Taylor, the guy that blew the Super Bowl, keeping Samaje Perine in a crucial 4th down? That guy?
Dude still has a gig. It's amazing, right?
He has a long history of this. This is nothing new. It ain't nothing new.
But I'll tell you what, man, I Pat Freiermuth only got me 7.5 points. I needed 10 points from him, and I lost to John Laub in the Independence Day Invitational. So I turn to you and I say, avenge me.
I got you, bro.
Avenge me. But you and I are sworn enemies this week because we compete against each other in the SiriusXM Music League.
The Music League. Dude, I don't know. I'm taking that league super seriously.
Oh my, dude. But it's you and me in one side of the bracket, and then the other side of the bracket, it's Ben Lewis. And what is it? It's Nick and
Nick Ultra.
Nick Ultra and the other side.
I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat. So I think the best part about that league, though, is that it could have been just you and I in the championship if the brackets were set up a little differently, but at least one of the music channels actually has a shot at the title now, going up against either you or me.
They wouldn't want to play again next year if we just swept the whole thing. So that is good. That is nice that it's panning out that way. And I'm going to be rooting for whoever, because we got to represent our channel. We can't let these music kids come in and beat us at our own game, right? So we got to represent there. So I'm with you, dude. I had some tough spots this week, but I'll tell you what, last night, man, I had some teams with Devon Achane, and as it lined up, 2 different leagues, one being a dynasty league where I've had a great team for a long time, and then another being a best ball mania team I was trying to get through. All I needed was 4 more points from Devon Achane. This best ball mania team, Howard, had Jahmyr Gibbs and Devon Achane, and neither one could have got me those 4 extra points I needed to push it through. Came in 2nd place, just barely. And those hurt, man, because that's just another crack at $1 million. I lost that. I lost in Scott Fishbowl. Those ones hurt for me. I was really hoping to get that done, but I pushed a bunch of teams through myself, and also got a bunch of best ball teams that are still alive. got one in the Best Ball Mania. So we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right, but it hurts. This is the time of year, and a lot of pain this time of year. And it's our job to help you guys stay afloat. So let us know in the comments, what you guys are doing in your leagues. If you got teams alive, if you're just playing for the love of the game, a little DFS, and let us know what your waiver wire questions are. We're going to go through and hit on all of it today. I'll tell you guys what, make sure you do two things for us. Tonight, make sure you tune into the Sirius XM show 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time with Howard with his final thoughts on waivers. And also double check tonight my waiver article, right, 7, 8 o'clock. Just hit refresh because there's a lot of injuries out there, a lot of moving parts. So we're going to be tracking some stuff throughout the day today and giving you any information on that. But for now, we'll just give you the best of the information that we have. Right, Bender? Like there's a lot of different running backs with different contusions and knees and elbows and all fingers, right? All sorts of weird stuff going on that we don't know yet. We don't know for sure, but we're going to give you our best indication, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, this is one of those things where we look at it and I'm like, I really, I don't want to be answering start sits today, only because, I mean, just think about this. Like waiver wire questions, absolutely, right? You lost Mahomes. You lost Devontae Adams. He's not playing on Thursday's, game, not with the way he pulled up lame on that. So we're still sorting through a lot of injuries, right? Woody Marks hurt his ankle, but they're turning around. They're saying that, that he could have played. We don't know what he's going to feel like coming back here. We saw guys last night in that game, right? Darren Waller, dude, you see that dude, his leg just get bent all like
crumpled,
twisted. It looked like a piece of fusilli pasta or something.
How does he get hurt on I never even have ever seen him get hurt. It just he just disappears. How does he get hurt on all the time on littlest things? He could take a helmet directly to the side of his knee and just get up and be fine.
I don't necessarily know if he is. They said it. They were like,
right, he's gonna be sore, but he scored a touchdown after that. Like he stayed in and kept rocking.
Right. Well, listen, adrenaline and drugs are a hell of a thing. That's definitely something. But they said it right there. They were like, man, let's see. Let's see what he, how he feels tomorrow morning when he gets up. So that's some of the things that you guys definitely have to pay attention to when it comes to injuries. It's one of the reasons why we, again, we still don't like doing start sits here on a Tuesday. And listen, my Twitter timeline is just chock full of them right now still. And I get it. You guys are panicking. My friend Mike V, who I always reference on the show, he is he's bananas over. He's literally already sent me his lineup this morning and asked me what I think. I'm like, you know what I think? I think you need to take a deep breath. And I think you need to relax. And I think you need to understand that we're going to sort through the injuries. We're going to sort through all the matchups, and we're going to get you guys where you need to be. We promise you. Promise.
We got
How about we hit some chat here real quick? First and foremost.
Start with the chat, and then we'll get into the individual positions and kind of weigh in on where we live.
There you go. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button for us. It's always a nice free way to say that, hey, we're with you, and we appreciate the work that you do. You can also join and be a member here at Fantasy Alarm's YouTube page. It's you click the join button. That's right under the title of the live stream. That's $4.99 a month. All your questions get bumped to the tippy top. We go to you first. We help you guys out, and we take care of that. So again, thank you. If you're watching on Twitch or Twitter or some other platform, do us a favor and just come on over here to the YouTube channel and let's get it going. Now, our good friend Jim Romany, who is also a member here, got in before me, got in before you. I don't know how it happened because I was in a good half hour early.
Yeah, he snuck in here.
So I can't post the questions up here, but I can turn around and say that he wants to know. He says, "Happy Waiver Wire Tuesday, fam. I made it through the championship round this week, starting dead last and now playing for a win is a testament to your advice and process." Jim, thank you very much, man. We appreciate you saying that. Now here are the questions. Right here, you're buttering us up right there, Coop, because here comes the questions. Quarterback opponent has Amon-Ra St. Brown, uh, and he's got JMO. Do I pick up Goff off waivers and play him in place of Brissett to counter?
No, I don't like playing defense. Brissett's just been great for fantasy. And the fact that he was able to do it against the Texans, which no one has been able to do, is just testament to what the Cardinals are right now. Terrible defense, willing to just let Brissett go out there and go crazy. It's Blake Bortles all over again. And for fantasy, we love it. Like, he finds his way to 250 and a couple touchdowns every week. So I'm starting Brissett. Now, where I do play defense is with my bench. Like, I'm willing to go out and add Goff so that if Goff would start for your opponent, then do that. Here's how in playoffs, my whole mentality changes. Earlier in the year, my focus is on my lineup and my bench. In the playoffs, though, my priority is now A, my lineup, B, my opponent's lineup, and then C, my bench. Like if there's a player out there that your opponent is going to pick up and start this week against you, an obvious move, grab them. Absolutely. Like you can't afford to lose these weeks. That could mean the difference. It really could. So if his quarterback is below the line on Goff, grab Goff and block that.
At the tight end position, he's got Fannin and Waller. Should I pick up Parkinson to block?
Not if you're going to drop those two guys, because I think Fannin and Waller are going to be your best bets. And I'm starting Waller this week. Fannin has a bad matchup, but you want to have Fannin available to start in the following week when he has a good matchup, right? Because Fannin this week, timing just didn't work out that great where he's got Buffalo. Buffalo has been brutal for tight ends, but Waller has the best possible matchup. So stick with what you have. Let that guy pick up Parkinson if he wants. I am Waller over Parkinson this week, and there's some things in Parkinson's profile. I still like Parkinson, but there's some things in his profile that are a little dicey compared to Waller. So that's where I'm living. Where are you at, Bender? I know
I'm not loving the short week, and I'm not loving the matchup against Seattle. Seattle just lost. No, they won. They come back and win that one.
They won that, yeah. 18.
They won that one, but it was a tough one there. Julian Love is back. I mean, listen, I love Parkinson. I do love Parkinson, and he has been so good to me over. It's so funny, right? Touchdowns in what, 4 out of the last 5 weeks, or is it 5 out of the last 6 weeks? The 1 week that he didn't score the touchdown, that was the week that I unloaded some money onto him at plus 450 to catch a touchdown pass. So, whatever. But I mean, listen, I love what he's doing right now, but I agree. I think Waller is in a better spot right now as long as he's healthy. And I also agree that Fannin, I mean, the dude he's just seeing mad targets. He's just getting all the work here from Shedeur Sanders. You got to ride that wave. I haven't even looked at Cleveland going up against Buffalo. That's a tough matchup. That's definitely going to be a tough matchup. And then Miami is going up against
the Bengals. The Bengals.
Oh,
yeah. That's what I mean. So yeah, for Colby Parkinson. And the other thing for Parkinson, once I dug into the data, he actually blocked on 6 pass plays this week, and his route participation ended up being 64%. Waller quietly was at 67%. So we can't even because people are arguing with me of like, oh, he played more snaps, but Waller actually quietly had the better route participation. Waller had a better route participation than someone like Colston Loveland's had in 3 straight games now. So like Waller, for me, like once you get into that world of, are they not a every single snap player like McBride or Pitts? Like, just give me Waller against the
right. But you also have to take into account there's, I mean, the Dolphins ran 4 plays yesterday total. B, right. His route participation is great because he is the number 2 target, or he should at least be the number 2 target, possibly number 3. Parkinson, we're going to have to see what they're going to end up trying to do with him this week with Devontae Adams out. When you're sitting there playing behind Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, I'm sorry, but your tight end is definitely secondary. But something definitely needs to be said about the fact that that Stafford targeted his tight end room 13 times in that game yesterday, Sunday, 13 times. So, but again, it's not a great matchup. They're going to use Julian Love a lot more on that. As long as Waller is healthy, this matchup, is definitely the way to go. All right. More questions here from Jim Romany. Defense. He's got the Jaguars. Should I pick up the Bills, the Saints, or the Vikings?
So I did my waiver article, my rankings for this week. I'm doing this afternoon. So I will say this: I do like the Saints against the Jets. We don't know who's going to be playing quarterback, whether they're going to bring somebody back or not, but that's been a pretty good matchup for us thus far. Who do the I also like the Vikings against the Giants. Um, and I haven't decided who I'm going to rank ahead. Those are the two teams in the waiver wire article. Think with the Vikings, they blitz like crazy. They've had multiple sacks, and Jackson Dart, based on his play style alone, is kind of a sack machine, right? So do you lean into the sack / turnover potential of the Vikings, or do you look at the just fact that the Jets really are having trouble moving the ball at all?
Kind of
Which
look
way
at
would
the
you go?
Jets just having trouble moving the ball and seeing what the Saints defense has done over the last couple of weeks also. I
Not
mean,
bad.
they're in this realm here. I mean, what are they going to say? Like, who wants to lose this game more? I think the Saints have shown that they're perfectly fine drafting wherever they're going to draft. Their team is terrible. Their team is bad. They don't have the top pick right now. That belongs to the Giants. And I think that the Saints still, they want to play spoiler here. And I think that that's just something that we're going to continue to see. So I'm kind of leaning in that direction. Not really, though.
The Saints have
Right.
been beaten. They've been beaten up on the division teams lately, huh? Like they
Right. They
beat
have. I mean, back-to-back wins over the Bucks and the Panthers. Nobody
yeah,
wants to win that division.
and they beat the Panthers very recently as well. They beat them twice now.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants it.
And then finally from Jim says, Kyron is on the waiver wire. I will not use him, but should I pick him up so my opponent will not get him? I'm done now.
For sure.
Yeah, I would definitely add Kyron if you can. 100%. 100%.
Who dropped Kyron? That's kind of crazy business.
That is kind of crazy. That's definitely crazy. All right, now we can go and I can find the rest of our here we go. Roddy Rod's in the house here. Lost Mahomes. He's got Darnold. Would you add Stroud or Tua? I would definitely add Stroud.
Yes.
I would definitely add Stroud. He's going up against the Raiders this week, and it's a home game for Stroud. Great little tune-up game for sure.
Right. And I know Tua's got a good matchup, but I just don't trust him. So I'm going Stroud.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then Raider Dave in the house here. What's up, Raider Dave? Good luck to everyone still alive in the playoffs. If not, then let's get those DFS and parlay wins. Come on. I gave you picks yesterday on Underdog. They both hit. Ba-boom.
Go.
Make some money, yo. All right. Now let's get back to the rest of the list there. And I got Mark, 8523. Hey, guys, I had the bye, but my Rice lost Mahomes. My Marks got hurt. Would you trust these two guys going next week into the finals? I would trust Marks because it sounds like it's just a minor thing for him. Rice is a different story. Where are you at with Gardner Minshew, Rashee Rice, and Travis Kelce? Forget about the fringe guys. I don't care about Tyquan Thornton, and I don't care about Hollywood Brown, and I don't even care about Xavier Worthy. It's Rice and it's Kelce. Where are you at? Are you downgrading them?
So yeah, they got to be downgraded a little bit, but they're probably still going to end up in the realm where you're starting them. Like if you can add Waller, I would strongly consider going there. But they get the Titans this week, and the Titans secondary has just been an absolute mess. I mean, they traded McCreary and released Diggs, and then all sorts of guys started getting banged up. And this weekend, they lost two more safeties. I'm not sure what's going to go on with Xavier Woods and I forget who else got nicked up this week, but I mean, like they've been starting safeties at corner, and now those guys are getting hurt. It's a complete mess. So I think you're probably rolling those guys out. The thing is, if you start those guys and survive this week, but it doesn't look good, you're not going to start them against the Broncos. So you absolutely need to at least attempt to make other plans, either for this week or for next week. But at a certain point, when you get to like Rashee Rice versus some of these guys like Adonai Mitchell, who also have terrible quarterbacks, like I don't think Minshew's really all that much worse than, I don't know, 12 of the quarterbacks in this league right now. Like a lot of the starting quarterbacks are pretty bad here. So like if we're going to be starting guys with Rivers and some of these other garbage quarterbacks, Tyler Shuck, then we're probably just starting guys with Minshew too. He's been around. He can play.
He's been around. We got to go to Direwolf defense. He was in here a little bit. Also, Mark, we saw you rapid fired some questions in there. We're just gonna break it up a little bit here. Direwolf defense, happy Tuesday, fam. Made it to the semifinals. Thank you. Good job, man. Listen, we appreciate you acknowledging us, but remember, you're the one in the end who clicks those buttons. He's got Seattle. He's got the Niners D. Wire is thin. Should I pick up Chargers, Lions, Steelers, or Pats?
Yeah.
I just want you to know, by the way, and let's acknowledge it to the world, that I left you and John and Pemba alone. All right, this weekend. The only person that I moderately harassed was Dan Malin, who at 21-0 decided he was going to announce in Discord that the Pats are so bad.
I definitely refrained from that because I've seen Josh Allen come back from too many crazy things, Yeah, it was a good game, man. Tough fought game. I know people are complaining about the refs and stuff, but I think that the refs were equally inconsistent. I went back and watched the game again, and there were some stuff that should have been called on both sides. So, hey, Josh Allen's still the king for now. Patriots just need to focus on getting a good position in the playoffs and hopefully avoid the tough teams and go Jaguars against the Broncos. That's my take on that. And you know what? Rocking the gear, 11-3, not worried about it. So let's go.
All right. So I would say that out of this group, I mean, listen, Chargers going up against Dallas in Dallas. No, thank you. Lions, they're hosting the Steelers. That's definitely doable. Steelers against the Lions, no. Pats against the Ravens on the road. I don't necessarily know if I like that. I do like still 49ers Monday Night Football. Maybe it's on the road, but it is a sterile environment in Indianapolis, and it is still Phillip Rivers, who might be feeling himself a little bit. Kind of, he's got that 3-pick energy going on right now.
Yeah, for sure. His as we expected. So on Phillip Rivers, we had mentioned stay away from Alec Pierce. As we predicted, his time to release this week, Howard, 2.41 seconds, which was the lowest of any quarterback by a good 20th of a second. I mean, Tyler Shuck was next closest at 2.69. No one else is under 2.7. So he was getting the ball very quick. I don't know though. Seattle's got a really good defense against Carolina. I know Carolina's been better.
They're going up against the Rams on Thursday Night
Football. Thursday. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. What was I looking at?
I don't know.
I was looking at next week. I was looking at week 17.
Looking at the crack pipe, huh?
Yeah. Crack pipe that one. Yeah, so go 49ers and then use Seattle. Just keep the two teams you have and do 49ers this week and then Seattle next week against Carolina.
There you go. Mark says he read the waiver wire article. He's definitely adding Michael Carter. Is it crazy to slide him in as my RB2? Other options are Marks, Monangai, and Walker.
Yeah, I mean, so if Marks plays, if the Marks, here's the thing. So why not just break down the running back situation now from the article, just because
do it.
It's complicated, right? So here's how I'm looking at the running back landscape right now, right? The number one ad for me is Michael Carter because Bam Knight got carded off. When the card comes out, you typically expect those guys to at least miss the next week, right? And even if Amari DiMercato is back, he's probably going to be the starter. And he got the bulk of the work, and it's a good matchup versus Atlanta. And if he's a starter again next week, it's a good matchup against the Bengals, right? With Woody Marks, they said that he could have gone back into the game, but it wasn't a competitive game, so he might be able to play. And then we're going to have to see how healthy these guys are, but it's probably Marks over Carter if he's healthy, because Marks has looked pretty good. When you look at the other situations where guys got banged up, Bashal Tootin hurt his finger, but there's not really an ad for us there. And then I guess he's going to have surgery on it. The other one was RJ Harvey. And that one I think is the closest of the injured guys to him possibly missing. They haven't said anything yet, but they did add Cody Schrader to their practice squad off the Texans practice squad. They're at least planning to have some depth there. If that's the case, I'd go with Jaleel McLaughlin. But I got to ask you, Bender. This week we saw Blake Corum actually get every other drive. So leading into this week, he's only had 35% of the snaps, maxed out at 35. This week he actually did get every other drive. The only reason Kyron Williams played more than him was because they did 11 drives, and Kyron got 6 and Corum got 5. If, let's say, RJ Harvey's out, would you rather start Jaleel McLaughlin or would you rather start Blake Corum? Because that's kind of the tough question I want you to add.
I
It's
mean,
because
I would probably rather just go with Blake Corum. You see what the role is. Jaleel McLaughlin is I mean, he's a scat back, right? He's a small guy. He's a good pass catcher. It's fine if you want. If you're just going to fish for the pass catching work, then you can fish for that. But yeah, I don't. It's not really something. I would probably just go with Corum just because we know what's going on with him.
yep. So here's what we're doing then. We're going Carter as 1, Corum as 2. As it stands right now, Jaleel McLaughlin is 3. And throughout the day, I'm monitoring the injury situations for Woody Marks and also for Chris Rodriguez. Marks, they said, could come back in, and Rodriguez was a game time decision pretty much right up until 11:30 with the groin issue, which makes me think he's close to being back. But if we get word that those guys are out or done, then obviously Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and Jahar Jordan are back on the menu for us. But for now, it's Carter and it's Corum. And then for stashes, you know what we're doing. We're stashing Blake Corum, and then you're stashing your own handcuffs if you have good backs, because you got a good team and you just want to keep it good. Like if you have Christian McCaffrey, you got to have Brian Robinson, because if McCaffrey gets hurt, then you have Robinson and you're going to be fine, right? So that's what we're doing at running back. Pretty simple stuff.
How do you feel about Krosky Merritt overall? I mean, he's going up against the Eagles. We've seen the Eagles give up yards on the ground here, but it's still not a guy. To me, it's just not a great situation overall.
It isn't, and they like to split it. Anthony Lynn has wanted it to be split from the very start with Austin Eckler and all that, and Jeremy McNichols started the game and got all the pass work. So even though Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt came in and he got the bulk of the carries, it's still going to be split no matter what, which is why, regardless, I'm going to be Michael Carter ahead. They could tell me that Chris Rodriguez is done for the year, and it would still be Michael Carter for me.
All right. Okay. And then one more here from Mark. Defense, you still trust the Chiefs? They got Tennessee this week. Should I add Saints or Minnesota instead and start them?
Yeah, Chiefs D is going to be fine. They're not going to be taking their foot off the gas, I don't think, here. I think they're just going to keep playing, and anybody versus the Titans has been pretty decent.
All right. And then Roddy Rod's membership has its privileges. Would you add Colby Parkinson over Kelsey? Would you consider over Kelsey? Waller gone already. I mean, I'm not going to start Parkinson over Kelsey.
I don't think so either. I think you should add him to your bench, but don't drop Kelsey to add him.
Yeah. I think that definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense. All right, let's continue. Here we go. Fatty McFat says, hey, yo.
Yo.
Ann Dunn says, hi, fellas. Mark says, hey, Ann. Ann says, hey, Mark. And then here we go. Black Superman 2657, Lamar Jackson or JJ, I'm assuming McCarthy to replace Patrick Mahomes. It's got to be Lamar Jackson.
It's Lamar.
Does it not?
It's got to be Lamar. We just can't necessarily trust JJ. I mean, he's a good stash. I mean, might even have to start him in certain spots, but not over Lamar Jackson.
No way. Definitely not over Lamar. All right. Greg Martinez with his morning racist comment. Thank you, Greg. We love seeing that.
Good job, Greg. He will never quit that.
He did say Bender once again, super picks last night. Thank you so much, Greg. Appreciate that. Will this be a pie bet game in the SiriusXM Music League? I don't think Coop wants that smoke.
I do, man. My team's been the best by a mile. I have 400 more points than the next closest.
You do like to chicken out on pie bets, though.
I've never once chickened out. Never one time. Lock it in right now.
I feel like I've asked you, and you've turned it down.
I've thrown a bunch. I feel like it's been the other way around.
Really?
So
no.
100%.
I feel like you got a little Jim Bowden-esque in you, right? You're just so afraid of taking the pie that you only bet like sure things now.
No way. And well, first of all, this is a sure thing, but I would have taken any sort of pie bet anyway.
Sure thing.
Lock it in. There it is. Good
Aaron
job.
Donald,
Greg stirring the pot.
In the championship, 2 weeks long, full PPR, no tight end premium. Currently have Theo Johnson and Darren Waller as tight ends. Do I pick up Parkinson or roll with one of the guys I already have? Well, you're definitely going to roll with Darren Waller. Yeah. I would add Parkinson over Theo Johnson, though. I would.
Yep.
I don't even know who the Giants. Oh, the Giants are playing Minnesota. I don't need Harrison Smith bugging the crap out of me there.
No. And Vegas the next week for Theo Johnson. Vegas is in most weeks generally pretty good against the tight end, except for when they get hit with the Dallas Goedert gadget plays. Like,
Oh, dude, how much do you hate those plays? Those little shovel passes to Goddard
it's
over and
really,
over again. So
yeah, it was
annoying.
2 of them. He actually also dropped another touchdown that was wide open, but it's like you can't bank on that. I've been telling people all year, like Dallas Goedert is he's going to rug pull people in a way I haven't seen since Robert Tunyon.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, it's coming. 2-catch game coming one of these weeks. He's got a good matchup this week. Anyone starts him against Buffalo in the championship is making a massive mistake, if you ask me.
Same league. He's got the Niners D against Indy. Do you use them, or you try and pick up the Saints or the Bills? Saints at home against the Jets. That does look tasty.
Yeah, I think I would go that way.
Yeah, I probably would as
I don't really want to use the Bills against Cleveland. In Cleveland? Actually,
terrible.
What do you think? That's not bad.
Buffalo against Cleveland?
Cleveland looked awful this week.
They did. I mean, again, so did the Jets. So I think either one of those teams are fine. I would probably lean on the Saints as a home game here.
Yeah. Go Saints.
But I don't mind using Buffalo either. Is Watson done? I'm considering dropping him for Jennings.
I don't know yet,
but done, but
didn't look good.
Did not look good.
Yeah.
He landed super hard on his chest. The ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that exact thing before, where that's how I tore the cartilage in my ribs, dude. And if that's what he did, then like I can't imagine playing professional football with that kind of injury.
Yeah, I'm fine with going for Jennings as long as Jennings is going to keep getting that red zone work. I wish that he would get some bigger yardage, right, and be utilized more than just 2 catches for 17 yards and 2 touchdowns. But who's thumbing their nose at red zone work? Certainly not me.
Right. Plus, that was a perfect matchup for Kittle. Of course, Kittle's going to have 8 catches for 80 or whatever.
If you have an elite tight end like McBride, but you also have Waller this week, how high would you rank Waller in wide receivers to potentially go 2 tight end for the semifinals?
Twitch gang. Oh. I would factor in 2 things. I would factor in who you got with your wide receivers, and I'd also factor who your opponent has at tight end. Like, I'm telling you right now, Darren Waller for me is going to be ranked. He's going to be ranked tight end 7 at the lowest. Possibly 6. I got to decide if I want to go Goddard or him, but like it's going to be the usual suspects: McBride, Kittle, Bowers, probably Pitts against Arizona the way he's been playing, and then Waller might be ranked 5 for us this week. So like, definitely add him. You don't want anybody else adding him, and you might be starting him. So we got to know. We also got to know who else you got though.
While we got the shades going here, Coop, we might as well just give a little shout out to our buddies over at USA Sports Fan Chains, baby. USA Sports Fan Chains. Let's pop that QR. Where's my lovely QR code here for everybody to see this? Ladies and gentlemen, my Lord, here we go here. When you're with the Fantasy Alarm family, you play like a champion. Now it's time to look like the champion you are. Very proud to announce our partnership with USA Sports Fan Chains to help you look like the champion you are, or that you will be by the end of this fantasy football season. Get one for yourself, get one for your league, and pass it around each year. These are made in the USA. They're lightweight, designed to be bold and eye-catching, ensuring that they attract attention and generate excitement. Built to move with fans, they're perfect accessory for anyone looking to show off their fantasy team superiority. And you've got that superiority, so why not flaunt it? All right? And don't just revel in a championship. Troll your league loser, too, with their all-new I Suck at Fantasy Football chains as well. USA Sport Fan Chains, absolutely amazing. Get one for your league today at fantasyalarm.com/USA chains and give yourself and your league a little bit of swagger. That's fantasyalarm.com/USA chains, or hit that QR code right there, because this is more than just an accessory. It's a declaration of winning. And when you sign up and you go over there and you go place your order, use the promo code ALARM. They'll take 5% off of your purchase order, plus the first 1,300 orders. All right, they're going to go tax-free. So it actually becomes like a 10 to 12% discount, not just a 5% discount. Do yourself a favor. Fantasy sport chains, baby. USA sports fan chains are the real deal. They are the way to go, and they are significantly cheaper than the other stuff sitting on the market. I'm ordering these for a bunch of leagues that I commission. Man Smart, Woman Smarter League. Going to also throw that down for the Dirty Laundry League, which I just lost to Brett Flynn in the semifinals. Garbage.
Oops. Yeah, but you know what? You say they're cheaper, but they're not cheap. They're just more.
I'd say they're cheap. I said they're
less
cheaper
expensive.
than
Yeah,
the
cheaper, less expensive. I mean, these things
less
sturdy,
expensive.
nice. They don't weigh. They don't. You know, they're not weighing you down here, but they're nice, rock solid. So get them for the whole team
as well.
It's the holidays, right? What else can you get a gift for 10 people, 12 people to share with the league? It's a beautiful thing.
Exactly. Shout it out, baby. USA Sport Fan Chains. Let's get back to the questions. All right. Where were we? We were right here. Spicy Cloud 64. Should I start Waller, Schultz, or Parkinson? Right now, I'm going to lean Waller, but
Waller
could that change? Yes.
Yeah, it could change. Again, we got a lot of moving parts with Parkinson and Schultz, but they don't have great matchups. I mean, Waller has the best matchup. Parkinson's got Seattle with Julian Love and Nick Emanwari. Nick Emanwari's been awesome, man. The rookie safety they picked up, so they got two good safeties. And then the Raiders, for the most part, have been pretty good against the tight end. If you don't count like little weird gadget plays to Dalton to Dallas Goedert, like they've been pretty good against the tight end. So it's Waller.
Roddy Rods, can I hear your top 7 tight end rankings if you have them? Those are coming out on fantasyalarm.com later on tonight. Roddy Rods, you will have it before you have to deal with your waiver wire. So do yourself a favor and do that. Worry about that tonight. How do we feel about Breece Hall this week? Would you think Carter over him?
That's going to be really tough. That's going to be close because it's a good matchup for Carter. But again, at the end, like there are other little things that factor into it. Like, is Amari DiMercato back or not? Like, if you could tell me today, which you can't, that that James Conner, Trey Benson, Amari DiMercato, and Bam Knight were all going to not play, then yeah, it probably would be Michael Carter against the Falcons.
I can tell you for a fact that Trey Benson will not play.
James Conner, Trey Benson, Bam Knight probably not playing either. But it's that little like, is this pass catching back DiMercato going to play or not? Because if he does play, I'm probably just going to go Breece Hall. But if like literally everyone's out, then you have a good matchup for Carter, and he got virtually all the touches this week.
Yeah, there you go. A little suggestion here from our friend Raider Dave. In sales, we don't say cheap; we say they're more economical. So
look at that.
There you go. USA Sport Fan Chains are more economical than anything else that's on the market. They are lightweight. They are adjustable. They are made in the USA. And they got some amazing swag going on there. Different designs also. So don't forget that as well. So thank you, Raider Dave. Appreciate that very, very much. Back to the Q&A. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, I was right here. Oh, we got that one already. Hi, Outdoors Dan. Hi, boys. Wants to thank us both for helping to make the playoffs from an 0-4 start in his radio league. At the Outdoor Call Radio League, he went 0-4 to start. Panic in the streets. Boom. Look at him now. He is advancing in the playoffs. He did lose in his Superflex League, but hey, what are you going to do? Hi, everyone. Hi, Jerry. Oh, look at that. Mark is actually Death Wish. Hello.
Yes.
Mark.
So somebody did figure out, and somebody else, 2 different people here have mentioned that you can change it. You have to go to your profile. You have to like click on your profile picture on YouTube and then go in and edit that way. Or I saw somebody else say they basically like they change the name of their channel. And then if you change the name of your channel, it'll show whatever name you want. Like if you don't plan on streaming at all or like ever using your YouTube channel, just name your channel what you want your name to be, and that'll work too. I got to get some sort of. I'll figure it all out in tomorrow's show. I'll say, hey, by the way, anyone wants to change their name, here's how you do it. Because Kangas was able to do it, and somebody else was able to do it yesterday, so we know it's possible.
It is possible. Tyrone Tracy or Terry McLaurin at the flex, full point PPR. I don't know.
Too early for that, but it's probably McLaurin. McLaurin's been good, and he's got a decent enough matchup, and then he's got a great matchup the following week.
Absolutely. Jerry beat his opponent 200-99. Had the Jaguars stacked. Do I trust Lawrence this week or pick up Love or Cousins? Listen, Lawrence against Denver, no thank you. I will happily take Jordan Love against the Bears.
Right. You got to play the matchups. Love had a bad matchup this week against Denver, and he didn't do a whole lot. So, yeah, I know Lawrence went teed off on the Jets, but got it. Those guys are in the matchup realm. So I'm going Love too.
Yep. Matty Strauss in the house. Won both playing another week for a chance to win the big
Let's go
title and a chain. There you go, baby. See, get your league the chain. That's what you want. That's what you need. Bo Nix or Jacoby Brissett?
I mean, if we're talking waiver wire, which is what we're talking about this week, then I'm definitely adding Brissett because you can't let your opponent get Brissett against the Falcons, and you definitely can't let him have Brissett against the Bengals. So we're prioritizing Brissett on the waiver wire, and we're talking waivers on today's show, so I'm sure that's a waiver question.
I do like Bo Nix against the Jaguars. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I like them both, but Brissett.
Burton 3000. What the hell is going on with Diggs? Yeah, there you go. Read that he had a fracture in his hand a few weeks ago. Is that what's going on?
He had a chest issue. The hand thing is more of a rumor. The chest thing was confirmed, but clearly he's playing a part-time snap share. So, hard to say what's going on with him. And I also, I just to see him only run 16 routes in such a big game, he better be hurt. How about that? He better be hurt if he's not going to be out there playing more in a game that they needed him. So.
Hog Dog 165, one flex, Henderson, Waddle, or Tet McMillan. Well, it's definitely not going to be Waddle for me, right? Even though it's against Cincinnati, I don't necessarily know if I can even go back to Waddle. That was atrocious last night. I do love Henderson in this matchup against the Ravens. I do love Tet McMillan's matchup against a weak Tampa Bay secondary. So I need some time to think on this one here.
Yeah. I just read my initial thought is how can you go away from Henderson right now? He's given up some pass snaps to Mondre over pass blocking purposes, but they still find ways to throw him 3 targets, 4 targets, and he's looking explosive as advertised. So that's my initial lean.
Is it worth picking up Shuck or Mariota to block my opponent who lost Mahomes? Yes, as long as you're not dropping somebody who is a productive player that can be used by somebody else or that will be used by somebody else.
Yes, for sure. Because those guys are kind of in a similar realm. Both of them are running a decent amount. Unless you can get both of them, you're not really blocking him too bad because they're close enough. But I would pick up Mariota. I would not want him to get Mariota. And I would not want anyone else in your league to get Mariota to start against you when they play Dallas in the championship. The Mariota's run 10 times in each of his last 2 starts. You just can't let those guys be on the wire.
At Brown Baloo, is it crazy to start both Kittle and Waller this week? Starting Waller over Pickens, Hampton, Aaron Jones, Drake London if active. Man, I gotta tell you, I'm not going to. Pickens is a tough one, right? This guy has just been disgusting for the last couple of weeks here.
Right.
Hampton's in a part-time role there. He's still sharing the workload. Jones, Drake London, if he's active. I mean, if Drake London's active, why wouldn't we want to go with Drake London against Arizona? They've been terrible.
Just start Kittle and then start your superstar guys that you have on your team there. You know what I mean? I can't start him over those guys. You can't do it. He's a spot start at tight end. That's what Waller is in a great matchup, but you got to lean into your superstars in the other spots. But I'll tell you, George Pickens, man, I think he might be a total head case here. I think that there's a real
might be a head case. You think?
When the brief period when they said you're the wide receiver 1 on this team, he was awesome. And then once CeeDee Lamb came back and the rumors started swirling about him getting franchise tagged, he just doesn't want to play anymore. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
dude's a nut job.
Right? Why is he wearing a ski mask inside?
I have Waller and Kittle. Don't get cute, right? Just stay with Kittle. Yes, Death Wish. That is correct.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And good. The thing is, it's a good thing to have Waller and Kittle. If you do the right thing and start Kittle and Waller does better, that's just bad luck. But the worst thing you could do is let somebody else get Waller. You've already done everything you can. You've done everything you can.
Yeah. Been holding the Bucks D. Would you use any of the Giants, Saints, Bills, Cowboys, Browns in their place? Well, again, we've said that we like the Saints and we like the Bills this week for sure. Bucks in their matchup here against the Panthers. I don't necessarily know if I want to use the Bucks based off of what we've seen from the Bucks and the Panthers for that matter. I don't want to touch any of those teams.
The matchup, because the thing is, we were stashing for this period, but the matchups kind of flipped on us. They kind of flipped on us where now Carolina is proving that they're a contender. They're doing the same thing they did last year where they started off terrible and now they kind of got hot and are staying hot. So I think I would consider I really do like either the Saints or the Bills. That's where I'm going. The thing is, the Bills actually have a good defense against the Browns, but the Saints against the Jets is probably just the way to go.
Mariota or Stroud, a better pickup?
I like Mariota. I really do.
Don't like Stroud at home, huh?
I like them both. So they're both going to be ranked in a similar spot, but Mariota's he's been playing hard and he's running like crazy and he's willing to do QB draws. And he's got McLaurin and Debo. Oh, I like Mariota.
All right. He likes Mariota. I personally like Stroud this week. I don't even know. Who's Mariota playing this week?
Eagles.
Oh, tough matchup.
Yeah. Next week, he's got Dallas.
Tough matchup and a short week. Oh, next week against Dallas is always nice.
That's what, yeah. So
it's always pretty.
I don't know. I'm going to have my, for members, I'm going to have my full rankings up tonight, and that's going to make some of those decisions a little bit easier for you guys to have this week's rankings up. But I just like adding Mariota because I like his 2 matchups in a row here. At least okay, you know.
Would it be crazy to bench Bowers in favor of Parkinson this week?
Yes.
Yes, it would be. It would be crazy.
Yeah.
Full PPR, priority for waivers. Stroud, Michael Carter, Parkinson, Waller. My team, QB, lost Mahomes. Other 3 opponents do not need a QB. All right. Wide receivers are Chase, Sutton, Debo, Pittman, Shakir. Running backs are Hampton, Judkins, and Tracy.
Yeah. I mean, I would prioritize the quarterback because they're going to try and block you, and the quarterback's actually going to start for you no matter what.
Yeah.
You might not even start Michael Carter. You're not going to start Parkinson or Waller because you have McBride. Like, you got to just focus on your lineup first. Your lineup first, blocking your opponent, then your bench. And Carter might end up on your bench. You might with those running backs you got.
Jamie's in the house. What's going on, Jamie? Yeah. Good to always have you here. You know what? While I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Jamie and Ann kind of going back and forth here, I just want to give like a quick little shout out to the wonderful ladies of the Man Smart Woman Smarter League. Click into the playoff bracket right now to see.
I heard Jamie won advanced in that. I don't know who else did.
We got Jamie going up against Cheyenne with Erica Charay. And then we've got Hope. High Hopes is in this against the Natural Born Kylers, which is none other than Jen Piacenti.
Wow. That's a family affair.
That is a family affair. I love that.
I don't know who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for all 4 equally. I'm applying an equal 25%.
Aaron McDonald, I got Purdy and I got Purdy and Herbert. Would you drop one of those guys to pick up Brissett? I don't think you need to. Man. I don't think you need to. I mean, let me ask you this. Herbert against Dallas this week. This is a question that I've been getting a ton about. Everybody wants to know about Herbert going up against Dallas. And the questions are like, is it Herbert or do I use Tua against Cincinnati? I've gotten questions about using J.J. McCarthy against the Giants. Where are you at here with Justin Herbert?
I'm starting him, and I survived in a league where my 2 quarterbacks are Herbert and Lawrence. I probably should have started Lawrence this week, but I started Herbert. But I'm not going to flip it this week with Lawrence having the bad matchup and Herbert having the good one. I'm going to stick with Herbert. I think he looks fine out there, and it's a good matchup for him. And I would hold on to Purdy too. Don't drop Purdy for Brissett, because I think the thing is Brissett has a great matchup week 17, but Purdy gets Chicago,
which is
so
a great matchup. And
so
they're competing for that win. They need that win.
And they're a better team. Look, like Jacoby Brissett is making things happen on sheer like willpower and brute force volume, but that team is not a good team. Like Purdy, that's a good team. And I'm gonna have Purdy ranked ahead of Brissett most likely in that week anyway. So keep Purdy and Herbert.
All right, here's the question for you here. Not Purdy, Herbert or Dak in that game right there, going up against each other. Who do you like better?
That's crazy. That's where I think I'm gonna go Dak. That's where I'm gonna go Dak.
Still gonna just stay with Dak.
I think part of it is because like you never know with these guys. Like, what if somebody steps on Herbert's hand?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's on the table. That's on the table where it's like you got this surgically repaired hand, and that's just when you're splitting hairs. You gotta wonder if that comes into the equation.
All right, here we go. I guess we're going to have to kind of rapid fire here a little bit. What up, homie? Stick with Stafford or waiver pivot to Herbert, Stroud, Brissett, Nix, Lawrence?
I'm sticking with Stafford. Even against Seattle, I know it's not a good matchup, but Stafford's just been too good. He's just been too good. I don't want to lose my season that way.
All right. Oh, here is all the congratulations. Congrats from Ann. Jerry says Ann. Jamie says thanks, Ann. Ann's got the giggles. And Deathwish jumps in and says he's tried both things and it still shows as Mark, which means that he still can't change his name, with a very hearty yep from Salty Bag of Nuts.
So Salty was able to change his.
All right.
Salty, how did you do it? Salty was the one that was in here yesterday saying he knew how to change it. Salty, can you just do one comment right now for us to put on the screen on how you changed it?
Yeah, pop it into the comments there. In the meantime, William Jackson says JJ McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers, or Dak Prescott. I feel like you got to go Dak here, right?
Gotta go Dak. Yeah,
gotta
lean on Dak. I know the matchup's good for Rodgers, but that team, very strange the way they operate.
Half point PPR flex too. See, we're getting these start sits here. These are all new names here. I don't recognize any of these names, so we're starting to attract the panic stricken from other places that aren't getting their proper information, huh?
We've
People
got
crapping
shows
out on you here at the tail end of the season. Not us.
We got shows Wednesday. We got shows Thursday where we're gonna do start sits heavy. Tomorrow we let them trickle in a little bit. Thursday, everything's welcome. So don't worry about that, Sean. And of course, on Sunday, that's when we hit it hard. Those shows have been great. We've got a crazy number of people in there. And just for a reminder for the Sunday show, we've had so many comments on that show that that we have to put on subscriber mode only. So free subscribers get in. Hit that subscribe button now and make sure you're in and you're all set for that. And then if you hit the join button and become a paid member, then you just get the VIP treatment. But on Sundays, you got to be a subscriber. On Thursdays, though, we'll answer whatever you guys got, but it's just too early for that today. It's probably McMillan and Warren, but there's a bunch of injuries and moving parts we got to sort out before we start doing start sets.
Exactly. Mace Base Beast started 2-6, now 7-7, just won the first round. 8-7. Should I start Pollard or Warren with Gainwell taking a lot of snaps? Well, how do you trust Tony Pollard still? It's crazy that I guess Mike McCoy is the secret that is unlocked. Tony right. Pollard here.
What's unlocked
Kansas City?
What's unlocked Tony Pollard has been they've actually been in these games, because when they are out of the games, which a lot of them this year they've been, they just go to Tajay Spears. So this week, if Kansas City is just beating them, they're just going to go back to Tajay Spears. Similar problems with what Warren has going on. So I probably just start Warren against Miami, but again, early for start sits. One thing I wanted to hit on real quick that we didn't hit on because we talked about tight ends.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Wait. Before you do that, let's just rapid through these quick questions here, and we won't do any start sits. But are you going to get Brissett if you've got Burrow?
No, I'm starting Burrow.
Okay.
I would add him to the bench, though. You don't want anyone to start him against you, but I would start Burrow over Brissett.
All right. Would you add Brissett or Goff because you have Stafford, or would you just use Stafford?
I'm not scared of someone starting Goff against me. I'm scared of someone starting Brissett against me, especially in the championship against the Bengals. So I would like to get Brissett. Even if I'm going to start Stafford, I would rather have Brissett than Goff. Like, you can't. That guy has been dangerous. He's been very dangerous.
All right. Pick up Waller to start over Kincaid or Henry.
Yes, over both. Over both. And I would probably at this stage drop Hunter Henry. I know as much as it stinks, and I think he's going to bounce back from this bad matchup, but you got to go Waller, and you want to have the upside of Kincaid available to you.
I've got the Patriots defense. Stand with them or pick up the Saints.
Man, I had that same question in one of my leagues, and I'd probably just go to the Saints. Patriots are underdogs in this game on the road against the Ravens. I just would hate for my season to end because I started a defense against Lamar Jackson when I could have started one against Brady Cook.
All right. Well, there you go. We'll get to start sits tomorrow's show. Again, Coop and I are here Wednesday and Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, once again to help you guys through everything. Coop, some final waiver wire thoughts here.
Yeah, so we hit on quarterback. We're looking at Mariota. We hit on tight end. We're looking at Waller over Colby Parkinson. At running back, we're prioritizing Michael Carter. If you want to get a little risky with it, if you want to play it safe, go with Blake Corum. But those are our top two guys. At wide, and again, at quarterback, check and see if Jacoby Brissett or Trevor Lawrence are there before we go to Mariota. They're rostered in like 60% of leagues, but you got to check for those guys first. At wide receiver, clear number one, start, stash is Jaden Reed. He's out there floating around in a bunch of leagues. Like with Christian Watson hurt, you got to prioritize him. If you want to go for a stream, you got to. I'm shooting the moon with guys like Adonai Mitchell and Darius Slayton. I know it's not perfect, but these guys are getting a bunch of targets. Adonai Mitchell, I cannot promise you he's going to catch him, but we can kind of promise you he's going to get some targets. So that's on the table. Stashes are still guys like Luther Burden. He's banged up himself now. Pat Bryant's banged up. We're still trying to hold on to those guys, but they're really only stashes, Jaden Higgins. And then for defenses, Saints and Vikings, we talked about that. And kickers, Eddie Pinheiro. He's been great. He's been awesome. What happened is week 14, he went on bye, and then half the teams got eliminated, so nobody picked him up. He's just out there floating around. If he's not, then go with Borregales. Patriots offense has been good. And he's been decent too, and he's out there. Oddly rostered in a ton of ESPN leagues, but no one's added him on Sleeper or Yahoo, so he's out there too. And that's how we're looking at the wire, folks.
Go check out all the articles over at fantasyalarm.com. The regular waiver wire article is free. That also has Coop's tight end yin yang rankings. But streamers and stashes, the streamers, the most important, obviously, taking you week to week. That is behind the paywall. You need a subscription for that. I've got the QR code right here on the screen. fantasyalarm.com/YouTube. That'll auto-populate the promo code YT50. Takes 50% off your first month. And then listen, and it's all in one, right? It's all sports, season-long, DFS, betting work, draft guides, cheat sheets. We don't upcharge you for different packages. We don't tell you that, or you gotta pay more for our best bets or anything like that. So fantasyalarm.com/YouTube. That is where you want to be. Coop, as we scooch out of here, what do we got for final words, final thoughts? Anything in there that you want to say to the kids?
Absolutely. Tomorrow we're going to be back with a bunch of DFS stuff for you guys. Thursday, we're going to hit on with all the start sits. But until then.
Adios, turd nuggets.